take care of as much business as possible, please. I'm going to start with introducing the people who will be giving our remarks this evening, and I'm going to start with Congressman Donald Payne.
Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here, and I have for so many years enjoyed campaigning in Orange. Orange has always been very, very responsive to my campaigns, and I've always done very well, and I see a lot of my longtime friends in Orange here, and we've had some great times together. Let me just say that I'm here to endorse for re-election a person who has done an outstanding job in his first term, Eldridge Hawkins. I think that his his motto, results not promises, really says a lot. Since we have so many who want to say a few words, I just want to be specific about one or two things that Mayor Hawkins asked. You know, for many years we did not get requests of support from the federal government. When Mayor Hawkins came in, he made a call and he said that he needs help and that he would like to work more closely with my office. And I was very pleased because I knew that Orange had a lot of needs. And the federal government, if we concentrate on specific areas, we can, in many instances, assist. And so I'm very pleased that we were able to get a number of specific funding that he specifically requested. One was a $52.3 million investment from the federal government, one lump appropriations, which was really record-setting for Orange. Then we went on to secure $450,000 to upgrade the police department. I came into the police department, honestly, about 5 years ago, and I had not seen a police department as antiquated in its equipment as I saw at the Orange Police Department. It was really an embarrassment, to be honest. And I just said that we've got to do something about this. We've got all kinds of technology. And we went and we received funds so that the police department could work more orderly and in the 21st century. We also secured $300,000 to pay for the new Chestnut Street water pump facility. And there was another place that I thought when they can get another facility, that should become a museum. I've never seen a water plant. I mean, I was afraid to turn the water might just shoot out. So we went to specific things, and we were able to get the appropriations. So I'm just here to say that I want to wish the mayor continued success. I know he will be successful, and we will continue to work on a federal level to bring home the federal funds that he needs to move the city forward. Thank you very much.
Before I started with Congressman Payne, you noticed I was looking around the room. I was looking for Reverend Kennedy, who was standing to my left, and I overlooked him. So I'm going to bring him up so that he could bless this occasion, and then we're going to go back to the rest of our guests. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just checking if I'm taller than you are. Standing over a little corner. But let me take a moment to address the cadre of gentlemen and women who are here on the platform. Some of you know me personally, others do not. In any case, I know you personally. And Mayor Eldridge Hawkins Jr., before I pray, hope you didn't drink too much. Water it down. But seriously, there's a reason I'm here. And it's because of the impact that this gentleman has made on me. I came to Orange 5.5 years ago, leaving Mayor Wayne Smith in Irvington, where I pastored. And may I say that the tremendous impact that has been made in the time that Mayor Eldridge Hawkins Jr. has served, the number of times he has visited the congregation, not waiting for an election cycle process, but that he has the regard to be able to attend to the needs of the city. I've seen those things. And I place against his name an individual who is not only interested in power, politics, prestige, and popularity, but one who is interested in service, sacrifice, and suffering. Because to be a leader in today's generation, it's of necessity that one recognizes that personal sacrifice is one of the greatest gifts that can be given to us. And because of that, I'd like to also add this significant moment of prayer to the agenda of this election process. Let us pray. Lord God, we are in your presence, even in a public ceremony of an election cycle. We want to thank you for your grace. And we realize that God raises up governments. God takes them down. Those who put their trust in God and seek God's wisdom can be blessed. And even when there are snoopy forces that seek to fight against them, they can find that when God is with them, then they will try to bring charges against them as they sought to bring against Daniel when he prayed. Help that each moment of Mayor Hawkins Jr.'s life, here on, as in the past, will be a higher growth in spirituality, morality, social activity, justice, and those issues which will make the people of Orange soar to excellence. It's a time of hardship. And therefore, we're asking you to keep providing and protecting. Thank you for your holy hand in our lives, we pray. Amen. The Lord bless you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. And now I'm going to bring up our next speaker, who is our county exec, Mr. Joe B.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everyone. There's no question that Essex County is the best county in the state of New Jersey.
All right.
You know, we have 22 municipalities, we have 800,000 people that live here, and our strength is our diversity. We have a slogan in Essex County for the last 10 years about putting Essex County first. And the only way you can get things done is by people working together, our elected officials, and by the people coming together. We live in difficult times. I can tell you here, Mayor Eldridge Hawkins is putting Orange first all the time. You heard Congressman Payne talk about when he was first elected. He was trying to reach out to make sure that Orange gets its fair share from the federal government. I can tell you firsthand information how he is down at the state making sure that Orange gets its fair share. And on the county level, of course, you all read about it, he makes sure all the time he meets with me, whether it's getting community block grant money or whether it's talking about the Orange Reservoir. And all I can tell you is he's a very tough negotiator. I said, you know, well, Orange is part of Essex County. We all got to work together as a team. But his heart and his soul is in the township of Orange. And there's no question that I endorse him for re-election. He's worked on every level of government, the federal, the state, the county, and always putting Orange first. So I will work as hard as I have to work to making sure he gets reelected because he's a great friend. But no elected official could do it alone. On the county level, I have great freeholder board. I got great directors, division directors. I got great 3,500 county employees that are working together as a team. And that's what Mayor Hawkins is doing here in Orange. We've all got to come together and work together as one family. We're going through some very difficult times. There's people in our county are hurting. We pay the highest property taxes. We got the highest foreclosure, highest unemployment. It's been the worst economy in the last 3 years since the Great Depression. And we got to think of the people that are less fortunate that need our help. Mayor Hawkins has been there for the people of Orange. I am going to be there for Mayor Hawkins. Thank you very, very much.
I want you to know that I did not forget my protocol, and I purposely skipped Senator Cody, and I'm going to come back to him. So I just want you to know that I was well aware that I went over my protocol, but there was a reason behind it. So my next speaker is going to be Assemblyman Tom Gibbons.
Thank you. My voice is a little raspy, but certainly I'll make my sentiments clear about Eldridge Hawkins Jr. 4 years ago, when Eldridge and I talked about him pursuing the mayor's office in Orange, I felt he could make a difference. I was with Mayor Hawkins then, and I'm going to be with him again in 2012. I think we all recognize the importance of leadership. Being in public office today, especially on the municipal level, is not for the faint of heart. We're very fortunate to have Eldridge devoting his full commitment as the mayor of Orange. In many ways, Orange is the crossroads of Essex County in terms of where this county goes and where our state goes. He's worked very hard with his relationships with the New Jersey League of Municipalities, with the New Jersey Conferences of Mayors, and he's really established himself among his peers. This election is not going to be a walk in the park for Eldridge. He's going to need each and every one of the people that are assembled here tonight and your family and friends to really churn out the vote and try to give him the mandate that he deserves. It's going to be a multi-candidate race, but I think he has the ability and the support that I see. It's been my pleasure to work with him on many occasions over the last few years, but now, in view of the fact that I have Orange in my legislative district, it's more essential than ever. And that's why both Assembly Speaker Sheila Oliver and myself have endorsed the candidacy of Eldridge Hawkins for another term as mayor of the city of Orange. We have to do it. It's about good government. It's about moving Orange forward. And our answer is right with us tonight, Mayor Eldridge Hawkins Jr. Let's do what we have to do.
The Speaker, Assemblywoman Sheila Oliver, got stuck in Trenton this evening, but she is endorsing us and supporting us. And her staff member, Chris James, is in the audience. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is going to be Phil Thigpen, the Essex County Democratic Chair.
Good evening, everybody. This is a grand occasion in Orange to see so many people out in support of a young man who's going places. Believe me. To tell you how important he is, Obama is running with him on his line this year. You know, he could be a big help to Obama in Orange. That's why Obama's going to try to be on the line with him.
It's the next Obama.
Eldridge has been involved civically for some time, even before elective office. He was working in the interest of the people of the city of Orange and has always had the interest of his community at heart, working very hard in various endeavors. And I remember one day he came and said he's going to run for mayor. And, I was at that point wondering, why does anybody want to enter this elective office in Orange when there's so much trouble and so few resources. But as you know, he's come in here and has done quite a job. He's had some problems. You know, every councilman thinks he should be mayor, so you always have that problem. But he's done well here, working with them, and has delivered the bacon to the people of this community. I would urge you to do everything you can to support him. This could be the beginning of something very big for him. He's a young man and has the interest of the community at heart. And if you support him, get behind him, and look, the only way you can help him, you can't wish him in, you can't talk about it, you got to vote him in. So you got to get the people out to vote. Vote him in because he deserves the support of everybody in this community, and I wholeheartedly endorse him. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. There are a number of friends in this audience, and so to all of you, I say, you know, to God be the glory, and I say to you, Happy New Year. We're here tonight to support the re-election of a young man who 4 years ago defied the odds and he got elected. And then the challenge of governing came his way. And he met that challenge. And he met it successfully. On the stage, I refer to him as the chip, because beside him is the block. And you always have to give deference to the block, because Eldridge Sr. was a formidable public servant in his own right, so let's hear it for his dad. Let's hear it for his mom, who knows how to put together some really good stuff. But for the man of the hour, our county executive said it. He said that he governs with a team, and so does Mayor Hawkins. And it's not always smooth sailing with the team, but the bottom line is that you kind of go with the leader of the team. And in our case, in Essex County, our leader is Joe D. And certainly, whenever I come to the county executive on behalf of the constituents of Orange, he understands that I've gotten a phone call from the mayor, or I've gotten a phone call from council that says, Carol, you need to get on X, Y, and Z. And so he doesn't say anything except let's get it done. And that's what we've tried to do for the citizens of Orange. You've been awfully good to myself and to the county executive. You've been awfully good to your mayor, and I know you're going to continue to be good to him because he's going to continue to be good to you. So let's hear it for another 4 years for the Honorable Eldridge Hawkins Jr. and a very successful campaign. God bless.
Was here. I believe he'll be back. And we had Councilman at Large Ray Phil Morton in the house. Just want to acknowledge him as well. And our next speaker will be Mayor Bowser from the great city of East Orange.
Good evening. That's it? I hope you all know why you're here. You got a young man who's very active in doing things. Now, he may have a father who was a block. Hardhead might be hereditary. But, you know, Eldridge and I talk quite a bit. And I tried to get him more active in the league and municipalities because that gives you a broader picture of what all municipalities go through. And he can bring that back home and help do things here. I know he spoke before some of the hearings for the legislature, and I know leading municipalities gives you a script. And it's really based on a consensus of all of what they talked about. I said, Eldridge, read the script first, then you can say anything you want.
Eldridge said anything he wanted first, then he read the script. But this past, on the second, when we swore in our city council, I made a comment that there are 4 kinds of people. People who make things happen, people who watch things happen, people who wait for things to happen, and then there's the other group who wonder what the hell happened. And Eldridge, I believe, is in the first one, because he wants to make things happen, because he's proud of Orange, and he wants to make sure that things go well. And it's an uphill battle. And I'm going to be very truthful. You can go back and tell them if you want. Some council people came to me and told me, Mayor, don't come up there to Orange and endorse this young man. Well, they didn't know who they were talking to. I support Eldridge Hawkins. Thank you.
Our local mayor, he is also president of the National Conference of Black Mayors. He's working on a broader level to make sure that our cities get what they deserve. Our next speaker is going to be my mayor, since I officially work for the Township of Irvington, and that is Mayor Wayne Smith, who is also the chair of the New Jersey Urban Mayors Association, of which Mayor Hawkins is a member. Let's bring forth what we call our community mayors.
Happy New Year, everyone. Listen, I think all the speakers have it absolutely right. And no one knows it better than Mayor Bowser and I. All due respect to these great legislators, Congressman Payne, I can't exclude Dick because I'm an executive. Being mayor is probably the toughest job in America, because even tougher than the president. And I say that because he can get an abundance amount of resources at his disposal. Mayors have to be innovators, they have to be collaborators, and I can attest with his work in the Urban Mayors Association, with the League of Municipalities, that your mayor is an outstanding young man. In these difficult times, you know what you have. You really don't need someone captaining the ship who's never faced stormy waters. And Eldridge has been there. He's a young man, he's aggressive, he's bright. And I told him I've been through a few of these, about 3 of them, so I know how to win a few of them. So the prescription is all of you have to leave this room with enthusiasm, with commitment, to make sure you tell your neighbors and your friends that Eldridge Hawkins' election is the future of Orange. God bless you, and let's make Happy New Year.
And next we're going to bring up our councilwoman, Linda Jones-Bell, from the great township of Orange. That's what happens when I follow my mayor. I just went to automatic work. But we are in the city of Orange. We are supporting our Orange mayor. And now we have Councilwoman Jones.
Jones-Bell, thank you very much. How's everybody? So I'm the newest council person in Orange. Like a year and a half, a little bit more in. Facing a whole lot of stuff. I've kind of been in and around politics for a long time, but just let me make this really, really brief. I got back into community work and helping the people, and Eldridge's daddy came along and said, I think you should do something out here. So I went along with it. I had no clue. I was going to be on the ballot. I had no clue what any of that stuff was leading to. But I'm here today, and I stand strong behind Mayor Eldridge Hawkins. We have work to do. We need to put him back in office so that we can continue the fight, clean up whatever else needs to be cleaned up, and we have the right people to do it. Most of you guys I know from the first campaign, right? Yes. All right, so we're going to do this again? Yes. Yes? 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 Yes. Thank you.
And our next speaker is no other than Governor Cody, who is going to introduce the man of the hour after he says his remarks. Governor Cody.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. By the way, I'm as hungry as you are. Make no mistake about it. And by the way, I was born and raised here in the city.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, wherever I am, I'm always from Orange.
All right.
Never forget it. Never. I couldn't have been governor if I hadn't been born and raised in Orange. I say that very sincerely. And by the way, where I live, right next to the school was there, St. John's, and the church was there. That's where I had to go, right? There's no question about it. But I got to tell you a story about when I was a kid about one altar boy, Danny O'Boyle, who went into confession. And he says, "Father, bless me, for I have sinned." He says, "What did you do?" His father, "I fooled around with a girl." He says, "Is this Danny O'Boyle?" He says, "Yes, Father." He says, "Danny, this girl, was it Mary O'Reilly?" His father, "I can't say that. That would be wrong." He says, "Was it Susan Smith?" Father, again, "I can't say that. That would be wrong." He says, "Was it Maureen O'Hara?" He says, "Father, again, I can't say that." He says, "Well, Danny, you are an altar boy. You're suspended for 4 months for penance, and you must say 10 Our Fathers and 10 Hail Marys." Bless me, Father. He leaves us. Says his prayers. He goes outside. His friend says to him, "Danny, how'd you do?" He says, "I did great. I got 4 months off and 3 great prospects." Now let me tell you, I know this young man longer than all of you except 2 people in this room. And I'll tell you why. Because when Linda and Mr. Hawkins were married, I was at the church with my wife, and we were at the reception. And we heard them talking about him. Okay? Simple as that. When he was in her mind, I was there. That's all I'll say. You figure out the rest, all right? So I've been there since the beginning. I'm not a latecomer to supporting him. So, by the way, just let me segue for just a second. I represented Orange for 38 years. God bless you and thank you for all your support. And unfortunately, some people didn't want me to represent you anymore. They got in the way. But as long as I'm in the legislature or even out of it, I support Orange. I'll be there with Sheila Oliver, Nia Gill, Tom Gibbons. That's where I'm at, okay? Simple as that. Now, the other thing is, for those of you who work in government, who have worked in government, I feel bad. There's certain politicians who want to demonize you, who want to do away with some of your benefits. I'll be honest with you, I've never had to call a police officer to my home, but if I do, I'm not going to ask him or her, "What is your fringe package about? How much money do you make?" It's, "No, officer, could you please help me?" And when he does or she does, thank you and God bless you. To all of you who work in public service, you should be thanked. You should be thanked and not spoken about the way some politicians do. I'm going to tell you it right out, all right? Now, 4 years ago, people said to me, "You're going to support who?" Well, he really doesn't live in Orange. I see him coming out of his place in Orange on Nassau Street. I don't know, and all these things, people, he can't win. He can't win. Well, he sure as hell won, right? Right. And you know what? He's going to do it again. Okay? He's going to get the exacta, okay? The one thing about him, whether it's Mrs. Hawkins or Mr. Hawkins, at the end of the day, he makes his own decisions. All right? As simple as that. And that's first and foremost with a politician. They do what they think is right. And he's had to make tough decisions. Like the speaker said before, Wayne Smith, I'll be honest with you, when you're governor, you're not going to call me about snow removal, right? Yeah, right? Although, God bless during the power storms, everybody said to me, "Go, get my power back on." I said, "Mine's not on yet." But we did what we had to. Simple as that. But that's a fact. There's something wrong in the school, call the mayor. Something wrong with the county road, they're going to call the county executive. Simple as that. They get the pulse of the cities, pulse of the towns. So, he's done the job. There's only one thing left I think he needs to do. Now, I go to the senior picnic. Right, Eldridge? Right. I keep bugging him. Would you come up on the stage with me and the ladies and dance, please? But he served with integrity. You know, we have reevaluation here in the city of Orange, right? We don't like that. It's the law. But it's about, okay, who's got to pay a little more, who's going to pay a little less, so that it's fair and equitable. He did it. That's a popular thing to do. A lot of politicians put it off. They don't want to have to do the right thing. He doesn't do that. He stands up and he's counting. Not only on issues here, but on the county level, state level, and the federal level. Miss made a remark about it, another Obama. He misses one small thing why he can't be like Obama. Obama is part Irish. I mean, it is what it is. Every other quality except that. But God bless him. He's always on the phone with me. I love the man. I love the family. He loves Orange just as much as I do, and you do. And we need to re-elect him. Do it for me, please. Do it. Do it. Do it. Your mayor, our mayor, the Honorable Mayor Eldridge Hawkins Jr. Give him a stand. Come on, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Thank you. See all the support is a great thing. I'm so happy to see all of you here this evening in support of my re-election. I've had, all these elected officials here, all of you. I see Dion Warwick here. She was here. We got Carl Lewis. Dion, you singing? Next time? She said, don't get started, man.
Don't walk on by, Dion.
So you didn't know. This is how we do here in Orange. But it has been a long, long road, a lot of things going on. We know it is the worst economy since the Great Depression, and our governor has made some tough decisions that hurt some municipalities. At one point, we were at a 20% increase. We've now got that down to 0. So that's significant. And, it felt good to hear everybody up here say, Mayor Hawkins this, Mayor Hawkins that. But the reality is that while I sit up here and take all these accolades, and I take the knives in the back too, we get those, But as the city attorney told me once, he says, you can't, as smart as a leader as you want to be, you can't win any wars without your generals. And these men and women right here are my generals. They are the ones that run each and all of our departments and make me look good each and every day. And make me look like and that is so important. And believe me, we get it. People call our office all the time. Mayor, we're struggling. We're trying to figure out whether we can pay our taxes or our light bill, our taxes or our health care. We get the calls all the time. And like the pastor said, every once in a while, I slip into church. And I hear a couple weeks ago, I heard the minister talking, and he said, times are hard. We're lucky if we get through the next week or this week. That's a blessing. And then he went on to tell a story. He said there was a 65-year-old man or so that he went into a store, and he stole a can of pears. Got arrested, went to jail. Judge, inflexible, threw the book at him. He said, why did you steal this can of pears? He said, I was hungry. And he said, well, how many pears are in the can? He said, 5. He said, that's 1 week of jail for each pear in the can. Wife was in the audience and was hostile, upset, indignant, jumped up and said, Judge, what are you doing? Are you serious? Are you really going to put him in jail for 1 week for each piece of fruit in that can? He said, yes, I am. Well, he said, if that's the case, he needs to know he also stole this can of peas. Our team is good, but if you make your wife mad, we can't help you. So, but we are doing a lot. We understand that fiscal pain. And inside of this recession, we brought in over $60 million of public-private investment, and that's in part because of the people that you see here. When I call, they come, and they pick up the phone, whether it's getting us money, whether it's changing rules and laws, whether it's when a building burns down, and we have to call our senators or somebody else to help, or even the people in the county, to help get driver's licenses and birth certificates for people who lost them in the fire. These people here behind us made it happen for us and helped get people back on their feet. There's so much redevelopment going on here. We have projects that were demolished that are now being built with 2- and 3-story townhomes, just about fully funded by federal and state dollars. If you look out at that factory across the street, it's been dormant and out of business for more years than I can count. They're now refurbishing it. It's gutted. It's got windows that are being installed to be condos and lofts on the bottom.
We have changed this town. Just a couple blocks away, there are artist lofts with grass rooftops the size of this room. Matter of fact, the developer told me, he said, Mayor, if you keep working with me, we'll be able to play golf from rooftop to rooftop. So I said, I'm going to hold you to that. You know, so there are so many things that we're doing. You know, this is an urban city or a partially urban city, and that makes it very interesting to govern because we have our urban section, and then we have our $1 million homes, and we have our lofts, and our valley is now Arts District trying to be something like a Hoboken, but with better parking, hopefully. You know, so we're going to keep doing what we can do. See, he wants me to give him his credit. He says that was his joke. So, you know, we're going to keep doing what we have to do each and every day to make the city better. We've broadened our tax base. We're bringing in new redevelopment. And crime, like I said, quasi-urban city. Since 2007 compared to now, because of the work of this police director and the men and women on law enforcement here, we reduced crime 23% since the year before we took office. So there's a lot that we've done, and I'm not going to rehash everything because you have the brochures, you can read it. But needless to say, it is a difficult time, and we are steering our way through this storm. And now is not the time to change the captain of the ship in the midst of the storm. You know, and our ship is everybody you see here, right? With a new mayor comes a new administration, right? The people here have worked hard, all of us, to be down in Trenton to build relationships with the Congressman, with the freeholders, and everybody here. They know what to expect out of us. They know our directors and our department heads. They know what they're going to get when they come to Orange. And the reality is you have an administration change, they step back. Say, we don't know who that is. We got to see what's going on. There's a lot of progress here. They know what to get out of Orange, and the relationships are there for us to keep moving forward. I'm not going to talk all night because a lot of things that have been said are true, and I don't need to recycle them over and over again. But there's a lot we've done, but there's a lot left to do. And that's why I'm going to announce tonight that I'm running for re-election in the city of Orange. So, like the chairman said, you can't wish them in, you got to vote them in. So can I count on you? I can't hear you. Can I count on you? All right, let's make this happen. DJ, give me some music. You got to wake me up. It's been a long day. I shook so many hands.